Boys, today in this video, we're going to be recapping some of the best plays in Madden 25, the most notable, and this could be at any point of the year. Plays that were probably impossible to stop. It could be for a long period of time. It could even be for about a month or two. We're going to recap them, all the different setups that came with them, and we're going to start first play. And this is the one that I think most people can remember at the beginning of the year was bunch strong offset flood. Bunch strong offset flood and trying to stop the seam streak was the toughest thing ever because this was before people start running double safety go. And even when people started running double safety go, zones were backing up a lot, and those seams were just super easy to throw. And I'm gonna just kind of break down the play and like what people used to do all the time. But dude, I remember trying to stop flood. You would know it's coming. It's third, fourth down. You're trying to set up all your adjustments. Bam, you get quick snap and they snap flood. So I remember favorite setup was streak to tight end, and motherfuckers just went, dude. You could do something like this, and you just hit the seam just like that. Or, you let it develop a little bit. That outside fade, I mean, against cover two is going to be kind of tough to throw. I'm going to try to fit it in, but just shit like that. Oh my God. I remember trying to fit that in. Finding this in the Chargers playbook was super frustrating throughout the year. And there was even plays that used to beat match. Something like this uh, actually beat match a decent amount. I think they actually backside drag, either the in route or the backside drag. I don't remember, but something like this, super tough to stop. I remember, I think I was playing Bose at the time. He was running, or I was running match. Match was really good versus that bunch strong offset with the cover six Willie, and man, just used to get destroyed by flood. But dude, definitely the double, the double streaks fades, whatever you want to call it, setup was such a bitch to stop in this game. Eventually, KO started coming around Madden and Bunch Strong Offset. It was just really easy to switch stick. I remember Bunch Strong Offset wasn't, or was actually pretty solid versus that 6-1 when 6-1 and 3-4 odd era when everybody thought that dollar was patched because we couldn't call cover six Willie, and then people started figuring out the drag and loop setup. But Flood, one of the most iconic plays I think in Madden 26 or 25, excuse me. Now, the next play that I'm going to be going over is going to be in the bunch offset formation, and it's going to be bench pivot. If you guys know bench pivot, bunch kind of just got patched this year. It's as simple as that. Kind of got patched this year, but Clef kind of brought it back with this bench pivot quick snap setup. And oh my God, you could know this play is coming, or you would try to defend this zig on bench pivot, and then you would run into it and you would get a PI. One of the worst feelings in the world, especially on a third and short when it happened. But all people would really do just drag the tight end, snap. You could flat the running back if you really wanted to, but just hitting that drag right away. It's just so simple to set up. The backside dig, always trying to remember uh, if trying to just remember that's a route there because you're so focused on this drag. You also got this little zig route there, super super tough to defend, and then you got to defend all these other plays too, and just flipping it too. So easy, like you're trying to flip, you're trying to drag loopers, bro. They catch you off guard, and 5 yard hooks was like the only way of giving this even a chance to stop it. But if you call 5 yard hooks, you're pretty much giving up the seams, like and I know there's like no flood, but hey, all it takes is one seam streak. You have a 5 yard hook out there. You're not running with a seam streak. Bang, easy. I remember uh giving this play up so many times in the red zone. Finally found a little bit of defense, ran a little bit of match. A match actually did a very good job versus it. But I remember playing Clef's Colts and ladders a couple times. Man, this was super tough to stop. But yeah, this setup super simple. Just in case you guys still want to learn, drag the tight end, snap the ball. Simple as that. And that is probably going to be the second most I guess the second best play probably throughout the Madden 25 year. Granted, not really ranking these in order, but just thinking of plays off the top of my head. If you guys like what you see in this video, make sure you guys check out my new website, Vertex.tips. At Vertex.tips, you guys are going to be able to unlock your full potential in either Madden and college football 26, and you guys are going to be able to learn from some of the best players in the world who have made thousands of dollars playing both games. Here's the team. You guys have Goat Geezy, who's got over $20,000, John Beast with over $500,000, and Dill TV, who runs the cut streets, and even the guys who do our weekly tips have made thousands of dollars playing Madden and college football. Here's what's inside. You guys are going to get plays that beat every single coverage, video breakdowns, written setups, and also lockdown defenses. Here's an example of a sample ebook, and with your subscription, you guys are going to get both Madden 26 and college football 26. The link will be in my description down below. All right, coming in at our next play is going to be in the Seattle Seahawks playbook. I think you guys know what I'm talking about. The play whips. Oh my God. Whips was so tough to defend. And then you also had to mix in the halfback off off tackle along with this formation, absolutely insane. Mills ran this Zan Madden, two of the biggest names, but they set a wave for this playbook. If you weren't like a really great passer, this was the playbook that I think you would run. If you wanted to focus in on the run a little bit more, had a bunch of good runs, but yeah, set up just like this and these double whip routes, trying to guard both of them at the same time. Super, super tough because one, if you're using it and you're trying to go back and forth, you're probably going to run into these guys and get a PI, kind of like how we were talking about with bench pivot. And then there was always a post over the middle. Again, we talked about those 5-yard hooks. 5-yard hooks did a really good job at defending these double zigs, but you got a 5-yard hook, and it's not guarding this post, and then you have a seam streak over top. Or not seam streak, a streak over top. So if you switch stick to the deep blue, you're giving this up. This play, and you could snap it so fast. Even some people had like the curl on the field just like that. I remember Mills loved having the curl on big downs right there, and just trying to remember you're trying to stop those those zig routes right here, whip routes, whatever you want to call it. Just trying to be able to stop both of these. Super, super tough. Along to go with that curl, and you got the post over the middle. Great quick snap play, great formation, and then I don't have the halfback off tackle at the current moment, but trying to account for everything in this formation, super tough. Eventually, as the year went on, people started finding defense like the cover for engage blitz, did a really good job versus it. But yeah, if you guys want to look for this setup, post your slot, streak your outside guy, simple as that, snap the ball. The best setup for whips, in my opinion. Let's move on to our next play. We can't really make this video without talking about the good old RPO read Y flag. Man, when this thing came onto the scene in Madden 25, was it tough to guard, bro? You couldn't call anything. I mean, just look at this, bro. Look at this. Just easy, perfect blocks. The secret is changing the read key. You take that top safety, you move them over the slot DB, and that's what ended up nice catch, by the way. What ended up stopping it, but man, when everybody tried running, man, you tried using it, and the run just became super good because you had these fat linebackers. Get a tight end like Kelsey that can go spin. He can air truck a little bit. It was super tough. I remember playing in the zero chill event, but this was kind of after I kind of knew how to stop it. But even just like the threat of them throwing it and even catching it, breaking a tackle and getting loose, you don't want anybody to get loose when running this play. Super tough play, and I mean, it gave people hell. I mean, it still does give people hell. I mean, it probably took me a couple weeks before I learned defense for it. I mean, I even tried to give my crewmates the defense. They didn't understand it. I mean, and Mr. Football EA and Wesley, and look what David T did with it. He ended up running off with it, and that's kind of really what's you know, set the whole meta, was David T having huge success with this in the Madden Bowl. But yeah, arguably you could say this was the best play in Madden 25. I don't think there's maybe there's a better one. Might be one of the ones that I'm going to be talking about here in a little bit. But let's move on to the next play. All right, so this next sequence of plays, honestly, it's in a whole fucking playbook, so I'm just going to kind of talk about it. And it's going to be PA snag, jet touch pass, Y sail in the normal close formation. There's one more formation we're going to go over, but we all know how overpowered gun normal was. So let's just take a look. All right, you guys have been living under a rock. Let's respot the ball a little bit. Talked about earlier with flood seam streaks, how they kind of ruled Madden, and nothing changed when we got to the normal close formation. You streaked your tight end, you dragged your slot, simple as this, and you tried to make a hot read. You could pass in between quarters and hook curls if they were in cover 4. If they got aggressive and ran cover 2, you could still you could wait for this fade. If they had like a quarter up top, that was a popular adjustment to put a quarter up top in the cover 2, just so it was easier to switch stick play the seam, and you would throw the fade up top. Or if people just try to switch stick, or if they thought the corner route was coming, they would do that as well. And then you had the high-low read with the in route and the drag route. So you had that play, which dominated Madden. I mean, pretty self-explanatory. Not much to talk about. Then you had PA snag. How did everybody pick up a blitz? PA snag. You didn't know how to pick up a blitz? What'd you call? PA snag. Simple as that. Doesn't matter what the blitz was. Best setup for that was this year. Streak the slot, drag the tight end, flat the running back. This setup right here was insane. You could hit this drag in a great spot, and you could get plenty of yards. That little spot route right there, if you didn't have a 5-yard hook or even manned up, you could still kind of throw it and get some leverage. You were throwing that spot route right there. You also had your running back flat out of the backfield. I just called the wrong play, so I'm just going to chuck some. Just going to show you guys one more time, and then we'll move to the jet sweep, and we all know how good that jet sweep was. We watched fancy call, but yeah, streak the slot, drag the tight end, flat the running back, call play, call play. I mean, look at that. Like that post ran so sharp, and it was super tough to switch stick, especially in mud, even regs too. If you guys played regs, the reason why is because if you try to take a quarter away, you were throwing that slot streak for a 1 play touchdown. That's how I made a deep run in LCQ. Everybody was so aggressive trying to just switch stick the post. I had patience. I picked up all the blitzes, and I would throw it up top. This play was actually insane right there. Drop that, but it is what it is. But you guys know how just insane this play was. Jet touch pass. Simple as this. They came out $1. You gave them a little flip. They passed him it. Oh yeah, we were out there. And this isn't even pass me. Look at this. This is dollar cover 4 right here. Easy. Granted, if there's a user, could have went the other way. But jet touch pass. Not too much to say about that, man. Just a great play. And like I said, like when you flip, you kind of give off the vibes when you flip that. Hey, more than likely, I'm gonna be passing, but you would set up a bunch of fake audibles, then you're hiking the ball, Devonta Smith going to the outside. And even if like you gained 5-8 yards, that's still really good. And then people even started adding the fake jet touch pass because people were run committing and like, bro, oh my God. Defending this formation in Madden 25 was absolutely insane. Hoping that they do patch the jet touch pass. It didn't seem really good in the beta, but who knows? But yeah, that's the big play in Eagles. And I'm going to kind of tie this next play in the Eagles, so I'm not even going to cut this. You guys probably might be able to guess it. You guys probably play a lot of this when you guys are playing Eagles. Here we go. We're scrolling. Trips, tight end, flex, motion, wide post. Man, November motion wide post was insane. Absolutely insane. All you had to do was slant this guy and you just snapped the ball. No blitz was coming in. You make the high-low read between that slant and the post. That backside inverted zig, man. Everybody would forget because you're so focused down the middle of the field, trying to switch stick. And if they just had time, I mean, they were just going to be able to step up in the pocket. You could throw the post whichever way you wanted. This play was super tough. And this was at the time that, blitzes really weren't even coming in. You could add the motion if you really wanted to, but not really many people did that. Just adding that audible around factor, super, super tough. As I'm, just sitting here throwing the post with these, granted, there's no user, all that. So throw this inverted zig. There we go. Easy. You guys see how good this plays. All right, move on to the last play of the video. The last play of the video is going to be in the U-trips formation in the New England Patriots playbook. Excuse me. I was going to say in the gun normal Y-off pass. Like, what is that? That doesn't make any sense. Y option wheel. You guys watched U-trips. Really good formation throughout the whole year. A lot of people ran a different type of way. The main setup was to put your tight end on the corner. You would snap, and then you roll out. That was the main setup. Mir made this popular early in the year, and people just kind of ran with the formation and added their own little twist to it. We saw Big Tay. We saw TJ. Just a couple of the guys who ran in the Madden Bowl. And it was just so tough because all the zones would drop down to that flat. And if you try to switch stick it, you're just throwing that flat easy. And let's just say if you're rolling out kind of like how I am right now, some people would even take that outside corner that's on the fade and they would throw that fade for a 1 play touchdown. But yeah, it was tough to guard that post and that corner out going to the sideline. This was a super, super, super annoying offense to play. I remember, I think it was the second. Yes, the first month tournament, the second tournament overall. Evil or Pegasus and Tamir played. Tamir ended up winning the game to go to the live event. The score was like, I'm not even kidding, 77-70 in an Elam game to go to the live event. You never see that. The highest scoring game that I really would see would be like 40-40. That's like, okay, no defense was played. Sometimes they would touch 50. Very rarely does anybody touch 50 in an MCS game just because a lot of the time you're running the ball, to get a hash, whatever you're trying to do. So the fact that these guys were just getting 1 play touchdowns and like they were trying to play defense, but they would just keep making the same mistake. Like you would think eventually they were trying to bait that guy like Tamir into throwing the corner route. They would stick, whatever they would do, they were trying to bait it. Like Tamir just had so much time because he's rolling out. He's able to get to the sideline that he's able to, sit back there and make the correct read every single time. When you're locked in like that, you're going to be able to do that in this offense. And you add all the other stuff. You had draw in this formation. You had tight end whip, which is a really good play. And you could just quick snap it at the speed of light. Super tough to find defense for this. But this video helped you guys, man. or if you guys enjoyed it, hit the like button. Also, the subscribe button. This is the place to be. College football drops in 6 days when you guys see this video. 6 days this video will until college football. I'm super excited for it. We're getting close to our last Madden 25 video, unfortunately. But boys, hopefully you guys enjoyed it, and I'll catch y'all in the next one. Peace.